Hi, my name's Lewis and today's recipe is the Replicator. So we're seeing an explosion of low-cost virtual reality headsets hitting the marketplace. But we have to remember that the headsets are literally just the end point. What's really interesting is the content that you're looking at. So today's recipe is going to show you, again, the power of consumerization. How do you take a normal iPad and actually turn it into a high-definition laser scanner to create 3D objects? You're going to need a 3D iPad scanning accessory, an iPad, a laptop, an optional 3D printer. And we're going to use a structure sensor from a company called Occipital. And this costs about $399. It's a very low-cost consumer device. It's got a USB cable that connects to your, it's got a standard Apple port on it. It's got a mount as well, and you can get the mounts to fit different size iPads. You can even get, if you go to shapeways.com, the 3D printing site, you can even get one and print one off so it'll fit an iPhone 6. So you can have proper handheld scanning. It's very, very easy to use. So you take the mount, you slide the mount on top of the iPad so that the camera hole lines up there with the camera on the front. You lock the actual latch into place and then you just connect up the micro USB cable. And that's basically turning your iPad into a high definition scanner. It has a number of apps that come with it. Download those again off the iOS or the Play Store. So you have a scanner app, a room capture app, a calibrator app to calibrate the actual source, and an app called Structure, which we'll show you later on. So what I'm doing is I'm using the scanner attachment to basically record the digital information of the 3D object. And what it's actually doing, it looks like it's painting spray foam onto the object itself. And what it's doing is it's actually capturing thousands and thousands of tiny triangles, little polygons, and it captures color information and depth information for every single one of those triangles. And it allows us to create then a 3D model of the object that we're scanning. This app comes for free off the actual app stores. You can get it on the iOS app store to use with the iPad itself. There's two different apps as well. You can actually use one to do a room capture as well. So rather than me moving myself around the object like I'm doing here, I could stand in the center of a room and actually spin myself around so that the actual object that it captures is the room itself, and it captures all of the depth information, all of the objects and everything that appears inside the room at the same time. So, but you can capture in less than a minute lots and lots of information to create quite a high definition digital image. So what I've captured is my 3D digital image of Bob. I can click on an X-ray view and actually show you the pixels. So these are the actual tiny triangles, the fractals basically, little polygons that capture all information. And I can run a color view as well. And what this does, it runs an algorithm using the iPad to basically capture all that information, process it and turn it into a color 3D object. So there's our pretty high definition real Bob, virtual Bob. And you can see there's it's not a bad likeness of virtual Bob compared to real Bob. So this is a company called Shapeways, and Shapeways are kind of one of the world leaders in printed 3D objects. Click on open, and that's going to upload from my PC to the cloud, to Shapeways. It'll unpack that model. You'll see in a second then it'll render out our 3D head, and then I could basically print whatever I want to print that in. I could print that in porcelain, I could print it in plastics, I could pick any kind of color I want to print the thing in. It'll give me a price, click print and shipping, and then they'll actually just print that object off and send it back to me. Now we've done a head, but you could literally use that scanner to scan any kind of object. Anything in 3D can now be scanned in virtual real time, uploaded and printed for a few dollars, a few pounds. So there's our head that's come in. So there's our 3D head. You can see at the moment it's lost the color profile file because obviously when you're printing, if you look at the materials down the page, we can pick, do we want it in white, black, white polished, purple polished, blue polished, all these different colors, or metallic plastics. I can have them in frosted details, acrylics, stainless steels. I can have them printed in metals, precious metals. I can create that object in pretty much most kind of materials I want to. The key thing is that again, power of consumerization, that kind of capability of creating a 3D object using a low-cost device, unheard of virtually 12 months ago, would have cost thousands of pounds. This is again another example of a device that we see can be put into hands of end users.